Seems like most endings are dead ends for now. Well, that would be a shame. You'd think there would be like a little lock being like,
the real killer.
you don't have the information that you need. This is voice acted.
You, Ava.
What are you saying, Takumi? I came to the school on day 21. I couldn't have written the first threatening note or killed Gaku. That means I couldn't have been X.
Indeed.
What?
I didn't say you were X. What I said was you're the person who killed Shoma.
To what end?
I did not. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Shut your mouth and just watch. I'll be exposing every last detail of your criminal wrongdoings from start to finish.
Yeah, Takumi, tell everyone in the audience what kind of incriminating evidence you have and why it was Eva. Tell us why, tell us why. What makes you think I'm the killer? Before getting to that part, we'll have to explain how the murder even took place to begin with. Shoma's dead body was found in that cage. He had been stabbed multiple times. That means you had to have figured out a way to get inside the cage. But the door was locked. And you were the only one with the key, Takumi. Yes, I did have the key. So you couldn't have used it. Use another way to get inside. Another way? The key lies in the design of the cage.
The design? What are you
The
talking
bottom
about?
isn't secured.
The bottom part of the cage isn't secured in place.
This got hectic. It got hectic really fast before or after I killed everybody. It's just a heavy iron cage mounted on a base.
I don't understand. That cage isn't secured in place. What of it?
You lifted it up.
The cage could simply be lifted up.
So you went inside from the bottom. What nonsense is this, Takumi? How is it possible for anyone to lift up such a heavy metal structure? Very true, that cage does weigh a ton. It's not something anyone can move with their bare hands. Wait, aren't you contradicting yourself right now?
You claimed I lifted it up, but now you're saying it's too heavy.
Wansi.
You used buoyancy.
Wansi? That's right. You made the courtyard a watertight space by closing off the drains. And then you flooded the entire place. There's a fountain there, right? Oh my gosh, I was onto something with the flooding. You opened its valve fully to release an enormous amount of water through the nozzles, turning it into something like an erupting geyser or opened dam. You left the fountain valve wide open for a while to fill the space with water. Why are you laughing? Oh, I'm sorry. Your explanation was so outrageous, I couldn't help but be amused. Takumi, do you not know how powerful water pressure can be? Even if we assume water was released into the environment after covering up any openings, some would still leak out unless those walls would be under constant pressure from the force of water. No, that wouldn't happen. That's how this place was designed. Because the courtyard was originally constructed for a certain special purpose.
Special purpose?
Space development.
What's special?
This place was a biotope to be used for space development research.
It was designed to be able to withstand atmospheric pressures many times Earth's range. That's what Tsubasa said. Yeah, that's right. And that's why it's impossible for water pressure to cause any leaks. After a while, the place became filled with water. Considering the water flow of that fountain, it probably took about 3 hours for water to rise to the top of the cage. Shoma was killed at 4 a.m. Counting back from that time brings us to 1 a.m. for the approximate time the water started accumulating. Even if you were right, that entire cage is made of iron. It literally weighs a ton. You said so yourself.
It wouldn't shift around simply from being submerged in water.
Balloons.
Buoyancy doesn't work that...
By using sturdy rubber balloons.
Rubber balloons? Ones that can be filled with air up to a capacity of about 10 liters. You inflated 100 of these balloons and put them into the cage. To be more precise, you put the deflated balloons into the cage first before inflating them. Archimedes' principle states that upward buoyant force is equal to the weight of displaced water. 100 balloons that hold 10 liters each equals 1,000 kilograms. In other words, the effect is 1 ton of upward force. That cancels out the weight of the cage and reduces it to near zero. You'd barely need to use a single finger to lift it then. You were easily able to lift the cage with just the slightest effort. 110-liter rubber balloons? That's just not... It would be impossible for me to inflate so many balloons in such a short time. How could anyone have done that? More than likely, you used a certain tool.
A certain tool?
Tire pump.
Well...
Some of the answers are so ridiculous.
The bicycle tire pump in the parking lot. It's an electric air compressor.
It's mounted on wheels and can be easily moved here. Using that would make it a literal breeze to fill up all those balloons. I see. That method does make it possible for the cage to be lifted up while it was submerged in water. But don't you find it strange? If the cage had been underwater for that long, Shoma would have drowned inside. Yet the Revivomatic stated his cause of death as hemorrhagic shock.
Doesn't that conflict with the sequence of events you've laid out? If your deduction holds true, Shoma would have drowned to death, but...
It wasn't completely submerged? Definitely yeast. It makes things
wasn't
rise.
Completely submerged.
The water only had to stop just below the topmost part of the cage for it to work. Discharging water equal to the volume of the cage itself created the buoyant force needed. Shoma kept his head above the water's surface and breathed through his mouth, gaping and gasping for air the whole time. You took this opportunity to lift up the cage while underwater, slip inside, and stab him multiple times. What happened to the water in the courtyard after that? You drained it. You opened the drainage wall to drain it away.
Then the courtyard should have still been wet when we discovered Shoma's body.
Hot air blasts.
But was it?
You used blast of hot air to dry the place up.
What? I mentioned just now that this courtyard was originally created as a biotope for space development research. Because of that, it's perfectly capable of reproducing a desert environment, which means it has the ability to blast hot wind around the area. After draining the water away, you activated that setting to dry the courtyard. Due to the lack of time, however, the water didn't dry up completely. When we first discovered Shoma's body, it was actually still somewhat damp. It was dry enough, though. Plus, we were all distracted by Shoma's dead body. That's why we failed to notice the remaining wetness in the area. The only thing we did notice was that Shoma's body was damp. Fine, I understand. This is utter foolishness. Let me summarize what you were trying to say. I went underwater, lifted up the cage, and stabbed Shoma multiple times while he was gasping for air at the surface. Then I dove underwater again and turned the valve handle to open the drainage walls. But Takumi, I am neither a diver nor a mermaid. Even if I was an expert at holding my breath.
A regular person would struggle to do
mask!
even one of the things
Her
you're
mask!
accusing me of. And
That's the deciding evidence!
No. It's absolutely possible.
You used your mask, Eva. Tsubasa told me about it. There's a miniature air tank in your mask. It allows you to use it as a sealed gas mask. You can breathe for up to 30 minutes using it like that. Yeah, I did say that. I never thought it would work underwater, though.
Yes, I remember now.
You remember what now? Incriminating evidence?
My mask did have a function like that. But someone stole it from me.
You're the only person who can wear your mask.
That person must be the real killer.
So that person must be you.
Yes, that has to be it. I know I am right.
You've been cornered and you know it, Ava. Just admit that you're the one behind this. Your mask was unique. It's custom made to fit a specific shape. According to Tsubasa, you're the only one who can wear it. You were right, Ava. This isn't a crime that a regular person could have committed. Only a diver, mermaid, or someone with that particular mask could have done it. Ergo, the person who could wear that particular mask is the culprit. And only one person in this world can put on that mask.
It's you.
That person is standing right in front of me. It's none other than you, Ava!
You're the only one who could have killed Shoma.
You're the only one who could have killed Shoma!
No! 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 No!
Why is it not advancing? It would be really funny if it was actually someone else. I would probably freak out. Takumi, you're right. I killed Shoma. The method and flow of events were as you've deduced. I have nothing to add. But have I really done something wrong? I, too, had been threatened by X. I had no choice. When did you meet X? A short while before 1 a.m. on day 51, just before the murder. I heard a knock on my door. And you opened it. Yes. Why? The thought that it might be X outside that door did flash through my mind briefly. But I am not a part of the SDU, and I wasn't even here when you saw the threatening notice. I just assumed I could not have been on X's radar. Well, what did X say?
I have the remote detonator that will trigger the bomb inside your body.
You and all the other students.
Here it is, in case you think I'm lying. I'm going to give you some instructions now, but you don't have much time. Follow my orders quickly, or else. Should you go against me, or tell the others about my existence, I will detonate the bomb in your body immediately.
Wait, what's going on? How did X get their hands on the detonator?
Huh?
Maybe they stole it from one of us? No, X said they obtained it through the proper channels. From Tsubasa herself. No. I duplicated the device and gave a copy to everyone. I'll pass you yours later, Takumi. I knew this was a dumb decision. Now we are 100% sure that X is one of us. No, I think you can remove me from that list. I passed the first detonator to Hideko and never got it back, and haven't received the duplicate from Tsubasa either. That is fair. So Takumi shall be taken off the list of suspects. Everyone else started scrutinizing each other with great suspicion, not daring to even move their bodies, only their eyes. Sounds like this person is about to die from X. Yeah. However, all the students are in this room, so you would think someone would notice someone pressing a detonator. Also, they would be endangering themselves because it has her detonator, or her bomb, has like a 25-yard radius or something ridiculous like that. Hey, Eva, just one thing. Yes?
Huh?
X said they'd blow you up if you told the others about him, right? Yes?
Huh?
And that's what you're doing now. You feeling okay?
Why hasn't X blown you up yet, indeed?
I believe they could, if they wanted to. I'm telling you, she said 25 yards. That's a lot, right? I don't use yards as a form of measurement, but I feel like that's far. That's 75 feet? Thank you. Okay, thank you for doing that conversion. I knew it was far, I just didn't know how far. The device is small enough to fit in the palm of someone's hand. It could be hidden in a sleeve, on their chest, or around the waist, and no one would notice. It would be easy to simply press the button at the opportune moment, but X cannot do that for one particular reason. And what's that? Talk to me, do you remember what I told you about the bomb mechanism before? Yeah, how it has a ridiculous range. 1 yard is 3 feet. Ah! And the only reason I know that is is that one weird fact about football. Even I never watched any. Yeah, I remember. Anyone standing within a 25-yard radius at that time will be blown into smithereens. 25? That makes the blast diameter the length of an Olympic-sized swimming pool.
Basically, the length of this entire courtyard.
That's why X isn't pressing the button. Because they'll be caught in the blast as well. And it's not like they can simply run away. Taking such action is as good as admitting you are X. That's why X has got his. That's why X got their hands tied, eh?
This is the perfect opportunity.
For what?
For us to get more information about X from Eva. Since they can't blow her up, we can ask her anything we want.
Great idea. Eva, do you know anything else about X? Their height, body shape? They were dressed in the same outfit Shoma previously described and used a voice changer as well. So it was not possible to discern who they were by their looks and voice, but,
But...
Eva looked down. Short, hesitant silence. Later, she spoke up again.
Actually, I figured out who X is.
Great hell! How'd you figure that out? By their mannerisms. Their mannerisms? You know how some people will subconsciously touch their chin or play with their hair when thinking about something? Those sorts of mannerisms. They try really hard to hide it, of course, but I still managed to pick up on them. So?
Who's X?
All right.
Who?
I will tell you.
Quick!
X is. The real identity of X is.
Suddenly, a sense of dread washed over me. My mind started working overtime as I went through all the possibilities. Maybe X would really press the button now. Everyone thinks X won't do it because that would mean blowing themselves up as well. But if their identity was revealed, it would be the end for them anyway. They might even prefer to die with everyone in the blast over being caught and imprisoned. But in that case, why weren't they pressing the button now before Eva could reveal their identity? Were they banking on the possibility that Eva might say the wrong name? If she did, X could just sit back and watch the show without doing anything. And if she really said X's real name, she could always press the button at that time. Surely that was why X was adopting a wait-and-see attitude right now. It might be dangerous for Eva to say that name out loud. Even if she got it right, everyone would die anyway. That's okay, we can jump. Still, I might just be overthinking things. X could be hesitating simply because they were afraid to die. What do I do? What should I do? There was literally no time to hesitate any longer. My final decision was